What is going on YouTube? Today we are going to be going over my top 5 bass fishing lures. I've caught so many bass on all these 5 lures, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So let's get right into it. We're gonna go from my 5th to my 1st. The 5th being like my 5th choice. So let's get right into that. So my number 5 is probably going to be the top water frog. Now, the plastic frogs are what I prefer more. This is more of like the the swim baity frog. It doesn't really have like the paddle tails on the back, but they're still pretty good. I've caught a lot of big bass on these, so this will be my 5th favorite lure. I think my PB for a frog lure like this is around 7 pounds, and I caught it in New Jersey actually, so that was pretty cool. But I normally like to fish these around the lily pads. They're pretty good, but there's honestly not much more to say about this lure. I know in Texas they're really big, but I just haven't had that much luck with them. But it's definitely in my top 5. I've caught some pretty big fish. I never really catch smaller fish on these. That's why I'm putting it in my top 5, obviously. So if you're trying to go for those really big fish around lily pads, I really highly recommend the frog. The frog is, it's pretty good. You can't go wrong with the frog. So, I guess number 5 is the frog. So let's jump into number 4. All right, coming in at number 4, I'm gonna choose the football jig. The football jig is really good. I'm currently in South Florida, and in Lake Okeechobee, these football jigs smack the fish. We catch so many big fish on these. Right now I have it naked, but normally I put a swim bait on it. The cool thing about the football jigs is you can pretty much do anything you want with them. I put Sankos on them sometimes, so it's kind of like a Texas rig with a skirt on it. Those work really good. And then obviously the swim baits, the 49ers. You can do everything with these. They're really good. They catch some pretty big fish. Even on the beds, like if you're bed fishing on a golf course, like we have a lot of golf courses in Florida that we fish, these are perfect. These are a great bait to put in front of a bed fish, any kind of fish in the mats. This is a 3/8 ounce jig head. I like the 1 ounce to ½ ounce jig heads that punch through the mats at the big lake on Okeechobee. So these are pretty good. They catch a lot of big fish. You can't really go wrong with this, obviously. So number 4 is definitely going to be the football jig. And you pretty much, the hook sets on these lures are pretty good. They got the big hook on them, so it's pretty solid. The good part about the football jig, another really good thing about the football jig is the big fish love them. Like, they really love the football jigs. Like if you put this in front of a bed fish that's super big, like if you put this in front of a 10-pound fish on a bed, 9 times out of 10 they'll eat it. They're not scared of this thing. They will pick it up, they'll move it, they'll get really mad at it. The skirt in the water just agitates the crap out of the fish, so it's really good, especially in Florida. So if you're gonna go bed fish at a golf course or any kind of bed fishing in general, I highly recommend the football jig. And then you can try naked. You can put a swim bait on it. Try all the different techniques. Any kind of soft plastic on these things will work really good. Even naked will work. So try that, and that's great. So let's get into number 3. All right, coming in at number 3, I have the Whopper Popper. These things are insane. If you ever go to a lake with lily pads and there's like shade, cover, anything, throw these under there, and 9 times out of 10 you'll smack a big fish. We've caught 11-pound bass, 9-pound bass, 7-pound bass. This thing crushes. If you go to Walmart, you can find these in like the bins for like a quarter, like 25 cents, and they're really good. This is a little bigger one than we use. We normally use one about half this size, which is pretty big, or pretty small actually. Like compared to my hand, that's pretty small. So that's good. And we catch some pretty big fish. The biggest fish though have hit on the ploppers that are like half this size. So I recommend getting a smaller Whopper Popper, but the big ones do work, and the big ones will smack some big fish. I will say you will catch a lot of smaller fish on the smaller Whopper Poppers, but it kind of is even between small and big fish. You'll catch really big fish, you'll catch really small fish. But if you're looking for that double-digit bass, I highly recommend the Whopper Popper. It has helped me a ton. I caught a 10-pound, 4-ounce bass on one in 2014. Yeah, 2014 in Tennessee, and it was insane. I could not believe that I caught a fish that big on top water. It could barely come out of the water. It was going crazy. I could not believe it. So I highly recommend this lure. If you guys have used this lure, comment below. I'm sure you guys have used all these lures, but the next two you guys will have used 100%, but they are the best. You will catch the most fish. But again, the Whopper Popper, top water, you can't go wrong. I mean, nothing's cooler than a top water bite, especially when they're 10 pounds, and that doesn't happen often. So if you can find that perfect lake that has big fish in it, and you want to throw this in front of a big fish, boom. I mean, they will eat it. They will eat it. They are not shy to hit this thing, especially if it's, you know, perfect conditions. So overcast, perfect conditions, or overcast, depends. I mean, it depends kind of what the water temperature is where you're at, but overcast is great. And then throwing this under trees near lily pads, it works great. So we'll jump into number 2. This is number 3, the Whopper Popper. You can find this at Walmart, 25 cents to $1. But yeah, so let's jump into number 2. Alright, coming in at number 2, I chose the paddle tail. The paddle tail swim bait. This thing is pretty good. If you put this on any kind of hook, it will legit crush any kind of fish. So I got this little hook. It's a 4-aught hook, and you kind of just, it's really good. It's really simple. So what you want to do is you want to go through the top here. You want to go through, so it's like that. And you want to turn it around, and then turn around this way. So it's, hold on, come on, there you go. So it's upside down like this, and then you want to put it through the top. I'll show you guys, like that, and then it kind of just hangs out the swim bait, like, let's say like that, and then you'll skim it across the top, across those lily pads, and they will smack the crap out of this thing. They go nuts for this, especially in Florida. So if you're in Florida or Texas or any kind of place that has like lily pads, duckweed, hydrilla, all that stuff, they will come through everything for these. So this is a great lure to use. We've caught many fish over 9 pounds doing this in Florida. I mean, there's nothing bad about this lure. You cannot go wrong, especially when it's overcast. Obviously, the fish will love these things. My friend Quentin is a legend. He showed me this lure back in 2017, and I use it all the time. Every lake I go to that has any kind of lily pads or any kind of cover or a tree or a log or anything sticking out of the water, I'll throw this thing, and 9 times out of 10 you catch a fish on it. It is insane. I mean, it is crazy. I couldn't believe the amount of like productivity it has. I mean, thousands of fish I've caught in this thing in the last 3 years. So, and he has caught even more than me on these. So shout out to him for putting me on this lure. So, but number 1 is even better, guys. So the soft plastics are definitely where it's at, though. All over. I mean, I guess up north they use the little jig heads with the crawfish on them and rip them across the bottom. And I've caught really big smallmouth on those. So I should probably add that in here somewhere. I might not. But if you're gonna fish like a lake with rocky bottom, I'll put that one in here too, because that one's a really good one that I think I should go over. So this is the paddle tail. You can find it at Walmart. Gamblers are really good. You want blue and white. Blue on the top, white on the bottom, and you want to have the paddle tail. So if you can find these at Walmart or Gambler, any place you can get them, I highly recommend them. You will catch so many fish, I promise. So with all that said, let's get into number 1. Alright, coming in at number 1, I have the Sango. There are so many ways you can fish this thing. It is crazy. You can put a bullet weight on the top and Texas rig it. You can wacky rig it. You can Carolina rig it, just regular. And every way catches an insane amount of fish. Everywhere I go, I use this. If you want to just catch any size bass, you will catch everything. We caught a 9-pound 9-ounce on a really black Sango in 2018, and that was really cool. It's on my Instagram, so I'll put that in the description, and you guys can watch that if you want. It's super cool. But these are the bomb. I mean, I have caught so many fish on these, and all of my friends catch these. I will say you will catch a lot of small fish with these. So if you're looking for quantity, not quality, this is the lure to go. If you're looking for quality and not quantity, I suggest the Whopper Popper, because you'll catch a lot of big fish on those. And then the football jigs, lots of big fish on those. And then the lure I'm about to add, I'm actually going to add a bonus lure because I thought of this one while I was making this video. It's like a jig head with a crawfish. I'll show that after this. It's really cool for rocky bottoms up north and Midwest and all that. But you will catch big fish on those. But you will catch a lot of small fish on these, but you can catch some pretty big fish. I will not lie. I mean, we've caught giants. So if you guys want to catch quantity, not quality, I highly suggest the Sango. And there's many ways you can do this, rig this. So I'll just show you guys real quick. Just put the hook right through the center of the worm, and it's like that, and boom, that's a wacky rig. And then for the Carolina rig, you can just put it through the top here, and then put it up through the thing up here, and then have it like that, and then put it through, and then have it like that, and it'll fall. And then when it hits the ground, the tail will shake in the water, and the bass react to that so fast, and they will clamp down on that. And then the Texas rig the same way, but on the line you'll have a bullet weight on the line that'll weight it so it falls really fast, and it gives it a little more, finesse. So sometimes the bass like that a little more. So that's all I got for number one. Let's jump into this bonus lure. I'm super excited to talk about this one. The Rocky Bottom is awesome for this. Like if you're up north or Midwest, even even out west is really good. I know out west they use a lot of the big swim baits for the really big fish. I haven't had too many luck with the swim baits out west. I tried, and it's just not my thing. I like to catch quantity, not quality. But with quantity you do catch quality. So let's get right into that bonus lure, and we'll get this video wrapped up. Alright guys, this bonus lure I'm going to talk about is I don't know, I think it's just the crawfish lure. I mean, I don't really know the name for it. I haven't seen it very, it's not really common, I guess. So basically it's just a jig head like this and a little crawfish lure like this, and basically you just put it through the top like that, and then out the middle, and then slide it down on here over this hump, and then you kind of just, that's it really. Like, actually I guess you want to go further in, like as far in as possible down the middle, and then just slide it on there, and then say it looks just like that. And what it does is you just drag it right across the bottom, and the smallmouth bass and the really big largemouth bass will react to this really quickly. And even what you do is you kind of like drag it, and then you stop it and you reel in the slack, and then you drag it again on the bottom, and the head, when it hits those rocks, it makes the claws flap, and the smallmouth bass love it. They will react to it so fast, and then you kind of feel them pick it up, and they'll hit it, and you just boom. I caught a 5-pound smallmouth bass when I was younger on one of these, and I broke the rod tip as I set the hook, because I hit a rock with my rod tip and it broke. But this is a really good lure if you're gonna fish any kind of rocky bottom, steep ledges, all of that. Super good, super good. Even the grassy bottoms I've had luck with. The rocks do better though, with the jig head hitting them and having the the finesse kind of reaction bite. That's what you're looking for on these. And also make sure to break the claws apart. Like you have to break them apart, and they'll get better reactions. But yeah, so yeah, this was my top 5 bass lures, and plus a bonus lure. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what your favorite lure is, and I will see you guys next time. I will be posting a video on Friday, and it will be us catching really exotic clams in South Florida. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, comment, all that. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.